And J.D. Davis came out and was basically, basically said, I don't know what the game plan is. It's a little odd to me. I don't know what the game plan is. Now, can J.D. Davis play first? Because he did have a good bat. A lot of people like J.D. Davis last year with the Giants. What is the game plan with the Giants? Because Casey Schmidt is a guy I wanted to see get reps. How many reps does he get this season with the Giants? What, Shasky, how you feeling about this move, man?
Well, where would you like me to start with?
Chapman.
All right. Chapman is a nice move. I like it. Obviously, when you sign someone in free agency, you want to know that they're going to be there for multiple years, right? Like that's one of my big bugaboos when it comes to just how they've operated in free agency. Because they're not a destination, they don't get the premier guys, so they have to go to like that second and third tier of players. And because of that, a lot of guys won't consider them because they don't want to be here long term. They're using it as a pillow. So a 1-year deal with some opt-outs. Conforto is a great example. Hey, I'll take a 1-year deal, and if I play well, I'll bounce. If I don't, I'll opt in. He was kind of like right on the fence of performing and not performing last year. So I look at the Chapman deal and I ask myself, like, what the heck happened here? If you said premium defender at a position that I believe to be an important position, third base, the hot corner, and when you have a pitching staff that does get as many ground balls as the Giants do, like that is an area of need. And J.D. Davis had a solid season last year. Matt Chapman's a better baseball player. He just is. How much better? I don't know. I think that his baseball card looks a hell of a lot better. JD had the 1 year in 2019. Chapman's been a solid player for 5-6 years now. He's had some good years, a couple down years by his standards, so we'll see what he ends up being. But Matt Chapman is elite defensively. And then I look at what he does in the lineup. Like last year, JD Davis struck out a lot. Chapman strikes out a lot.
Yeah, I mean, J.D. Davis had better offensive numbers than Matt Chapman last year.
Well, just because of the one season he played a lot.
Right, and he did. But he had a better offensive year last year. My whole thing was in that lineup with the Blue Jays and all those guys getting on base left and right, how did Chapman drop to 240? How did he drop down to those numbers here? Now, offensively, we'll see how he looks in his division behind Soler, behind Jung-Hoo Lee. But Matt Chapman will be asked to do a lot more offensively in this lineup. He will be. Like, he can't come out here and produce 17 homers and 54 RBIs, or the Giants are not going to make the playoffs. They need him to be productive offensively, so the hope is Matt Williams can help him out, Bob Melvin can help him out. But, J.D. Davis is sitting there saying, well, what about me? What about me? What about me? Maybe they trade J.D. Davis for another pitcher since pitching is a little beat up right now, Shasky. I don't know. But also Casey Schmidt gets the short end of the stick, and we don't know what Casey Schmidt is. Hell, he struggled last year mightily after his first month in the bigs. I don't know. Like, Chapman, I'm intrigued with the move. This is a move they talked about for a long, long time. And I do like the opt-outs. I do. If he balls out, he's probably going to opt out and get a new deal. That's fine. You're not married to him long term. I think I'm okay with that with a player like Matt Chapman, Shasky.
So you bring up J.D. Davis. And you're like, oh, he had a better year. He did not have a better year last year than Matt. His second half was horrific. He was really good in the first half. And then people kind of found out who he was. J.D. Davis had a nice year by his standards. Just Matt Chapman's a better baseball player than him. How much better? We're going to find out. We're absolutely going to find out how much better. But I look at what he did in the second half last year. J.D. Davis, I believe, bat barely over 200. Yeah. He was mediocre at best. And then defensively, he started to leak a little bit of oil. Now, I would argue if you were making the full-bodied picture, hey, they lost one of their top guys in the second baseman, Tyro Estrada, who was a table setter for JD in front of him. Yaz was in and out of the lineup. They didn't have a whole lot. JD was pretty much it when it comes to their power hitter. Now I look at their team this year, and now I think we're going to get a good look at what Chapman is. When you have Jorge Soler batting in a lineup in front of you, when you have a guy who can get on base like Jung-Hoo Lee, Now we're talking about a legitimate lineup, and a guy like Tyro Estrada who's going to put the ball in play, who's going to be on base a lot. I like the shape of this roster much better than last year.
I do too, but I'm looking at Matt Chapman splits, right? Buck Martinez mentioned April, March, how he was player of the month. He batted 384, hit 5 jacks, 21 RBIs. May, he batted 202. All right, May, he goes all the way down to 202. June, he bats 200. July, he bats 247. August, he bats 197. In September and October, he bats 167. So these numbers, these splits with Chapman, just the second half of the season, 5 homers, 15 RBIs, 205 batting average. I know the Giants paid mostly for his defense to be a better defensive team with all these pitchers who are ground ball pitchers. But those numbers offensively, if he's doing that in a lineup like the Blue Jays.
But you heard Buck. Buck said he had a broken finger.
Yeah,
doesn't that matter?
It does. It does. But boy, that's 5 months of just a struggle.
Well, no, no one is saying that the guy is Nolan Arenado with the bat. We're saying that he's Nolan Arenado with the glove, and that's why you're bringing them in here. They booted the ball more than any team in the league last year. And then I look at like shortstop, everyone's losing their mind about Crawford. Did you watch Brandon Crawford last year, people?
He lost his range.
He wasn't the same player. I love Brandon Crawford. He was not the same. He booted routine balls last year. There was a game against the Cincinnati Reds. 2 balls in a row right at him, routine plays that he makes with his eyes closed. He just kicked it into center field. So I do
defensively,
think
he's legit.
They needed upgrades defensively. Like right now, like I'm looking at, if you were asking me right now, Jung-Hoo Lee and Jorge Soler's bats are more important for this lineup than Matt Chapman's. Now, do I need his bat to be good? Of course. I want a well-rounded player. But I look at Conforto and him and Soler. These are big league bats.
So
this is a major league roster.
I'll push back here a little bit because I do like the move. Am I jumping up for joy?
No, it's not.
But listen,
he's not Brooks Robinson.
But there's a lot of fans who go to the yard to see Jacks, to see good offensive players. There's a lot of people who don't. Like, you may go to the game because of defense. It's like, oh, man, I like to see the way a guy picks a grounder. I love to see Chapman take infield and pick up routine grounders. There's a lot of people like that. But there's also the casuals who say, I want to go to the game to see offense. I want to see some lightning in a bottle at the plate. I want to see some thump. What if Chapman doesn't bring that thump? What if he does it and he produces the same offensive numbers that he did a season ago in a lineup that's not as sexy, that's not as deep as the Blue Jays lineup?
No,
it's going to be a little disappointing.
Again, to me, he's not the anchor of the lineup, right? Like to me,
so is that all on Soler?
Well, I'm looking at Soler. Conforto needs to be better this year. No one's talked about Conforto needs to be better this year. Yastrzemski, if you're going to roll him out as much as they're going to roll him out, he needs to be better this year. Can Lamont Wade put together a full season? Yeah. These are other question marks that I have. Like they batted Lamont Wade Jr. at leadoff all year last year. And then, I love Giants analysis. But people are like, he's a lead. No, he's not. He's not a leadoff hitter. Like, he's not. Lamont Wade was a nice story, but to me, he's more of a platoon. So if you can get, Wilmer Flores was your best offensive player last year. Right. I repeat, Wilmer Flores. That's not good enough. When you bring in Jung-Hoo Lee, now I got a guy who's going to get on base. You hope he's a 300 hitter. So now I got a table setter. My number 2 hitter, I'm hoping is going to be Thairo Estrada. Thairo Estrada, if you watched him day in and day out, even after the wrist injury, the guy gets on base.
What do you do with Casey Schmidt?
See, now that's it. Now let's zoom in. To me, when you sign Matt Chapman, you're kind of telling me you don't believe in Casey Schmidt, which is sad because it's a second-round pick from a couple years ago, and he looked good last year in the small period of time.
Or is there internal pressure that, hey, the Giants need to win. We need to try to win now, and we need to bring in some big boys.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's both of those. Right. But, Schmidt's I think he's 24 already, going to turn 25 this year. That's not, if you thought he was going to be a player, you're probably not signing Matt Chapman. Would you agree?
Yeah, he's 25 years old.
Yeah.
Just turned 25 March 1st.
There you go. See, I knew it was coming up. If they thought he was a player now, could he play some shortstop and some second base? Sure. I don't know where he fits in if you keep J.D. Davis. Right. I don't know where he fits in if you're going to have Wilmer Flores as well. I don't know if Wilmer's going to try a little second base again this year. They did it during the 2021 season. I don't know if they're going to do that again. He was not a good second baseman. So, I don't know. I look at what they are. Up the middle, they're strong right now in terms of Bailey is great defensively. Chapman at third base is nice. And then Jung-Hoo Lee is a very good defender in center field. The question mark is shortstop. Yeah. What is Marco Luciano? Is he good? Is he not good? Is he a brick with the glove? Can the guy make some plays? Is his back going to outweigh the glove? I don't have answers to that. I still think pitching's a big problem.
Back to Chapman for a second, though. The one thing is he is available. You look at his game logs here, 24 years old. He comes up with the A's, plays 86 games. Next year, 145. 156. Then he has a shoulder injury, which limits him to 37 games. Then he plays 151, 155, and 140. So he will be available day in and day out for the Giants here. Let's go to Ron and Hayward. Ron, what's happening? You're on the roast. What's up, Ron? big truck driver, Ron. That's who this
Jackie
is.
Robinson, Dodger Booth. That's right. You know who this is.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Right. I ain't talked to you guys in a long time.
Hey, 1 second. I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish. Dodgers suck. All right, I got it in.
Hey, you telling jokes this morning, too.
Typically waiters and waitresses.
Hey, look here, man. I ain't talked to you guys in a good while, man. You know, you got dethroned. The Miners got dethroned. You've been crowning them all year. and I asked your screener, why would Melvin come to pack booty, leave San Diego with all that talent down there to come to pack booty with no talent? I didn't understand that.
I don't know.
Well, he wants to be back home, man. This is home for him.
I've never heard pack booty park.
That's Ron's thing. He said pack booty park like that. He said it before.
I must
pack
not
booty
have been
park. We just
right.
you don't listen to Big Ron. What else you got, man? What about your Lakers? What about your Lakers? What about your Lakers lose Saturday night?
Well, we'll be there. We'll be there. We lost.
Oh,
but we're still gonna be there strong. Hey, as long as we get there and knock the Warriors out like we did last year, that's all that matters. We're still going for the 18th ring. Don't forget about that now. We're still going for the 18th ring. And back to my Dodgers. Look here, you guys wanted Yamamoto and you wanted Shohei. You guys wasn't going to compete for that.
Hang up on
man.
this.
Hey, Ron, I love you, man. They are loaded, though.
They are, and I don't want to talk about them. I don't want to talk. But
why don't you want to talk about them?
Because I hate the Dodgers. All right, so I look at it this way.
They're all right.
If they gave Chapman a 5-year deal for, let's say, $200 million, right? I'd be like, what are we doing, right? They gave this guy $18 million a year. It's a 1-year deal. They gave Jock Peterson $20 million last year, and Jock couldn't sniff the production you're going to get. Because look, I know the bats, and the bats are very important. I'm not denying he's got to hit a little better. Like B, that is absolutely true. Strike out less, get on base more, hit for some more pop. There's no doubt about it. But in terms of like who this guy is as a player for helping your team win, you need to be a well-rounded team. And they booted the ball way too much last year. He's already got the second highest WAR. If you just go last year, which wasn't a great year by his standards, he's the second best WAR player on the team this year. If you carry it over.
So let me ask you this.
So like this guy's a win for the Giants at a reasonable price point.
So let me ask you this then. What are the realistic expectations for the San Francisco Giants this season? Is it a playoff berth? Is it a wild card berth? Is it 85 wins? How are we looking on paper with the Giants? Because this has to be, look, the fans want to be excited this year. I'm intrigued about the team, not necessarily excited. I'm intrigued. I want to see what Luciano's all about. I want to see Tyron Estrada again. I wanted to see Casey Schmidt.
Jung
I
Hoo
want to
Lee?
see Jung Hoo Lee. What's up with him? I want to see what's up with Kyle Harrison and Wizard Hut. So what is...
Let's go!
Yeah, we don't need to play the whole song. It's spring, though. Let's not wear it out. Let's not wear it out yet.
So what's your expectation? I'll give you mine. What's yours?
I don't know what I'm taking it day by day, but you're locked into the team day in and day out with the minor league system and everything.
I'll tell you what.
I'm taking a zoom out saying I want to be open-minded. I want to give Farhan this. Let's see it. Let's see what your baby looks like this season with Bob Melvin and everybody and Matt Chapman. I don't know what my expectation is. I want to see it play out, but what is your expectation now that Chapman signed and there's rumors about Blake Snell? What is the expectations for the Giants?
Bare minimum. You should be in that 7th playoff spot.
All right.
Bare minimum, right? I mean, like, you can't spend $180 million and then tell me, like, it's a developmental year. No, like, I want to see Luciano get some of these postseason at-bats. I want to see Patrick Bailey in a pennant race down the stretch. I want to see Jung Hoo Lee get this team to the playoffs. Like, that's what I want to see. I want playoff games. Like, that's what I want. Now, if they didn't spend as much money as they did the last, like, I don't know, month or so on Soler and Jung Hoo Lee and Matt Chapman, my expectations will be recalibrated and I trickle it down. But when you spend that kind of money, to me, like, let's get in the playoffs. Let's do this. Why not? Because once you get in the playoffs in baseball, anything can happen. Nobody had Arizona going to the World Series.
No doubt.
Except me beating the Dodgers. I predicted that.
Oh, so you get credit for that?
I did predict that.
Oh. What did you get? Gold medal for that?
But here's the problem with the Giants right now.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Here's the problem with that. The Giants have not enough pitching. Like, I can already see it. They don't have enough starting pitching. Then that has been outside of 2021, one of the biggest holes of the Farhan, run here is they run out of pitching every year.
So playoffs is the minimum for for the Giants.
Is that reasonable? Am I unreasonable?
No, I'm just asking.
Because there's 7 playoff spots.
There are 7 playoff spots.
I mean, come on, you can't be better than half the league.
There's 6 playoff spots.
What?
6 playoff spots.
No, there's 7, right?
I thought there was a 7, the play-in.
No, there's the wild card round where the 3 seed plays the 6 seed and the 4 seed plays the 5 seed and the top 2 seeds have a bye.
Oh,
for some reason I thought it was 7.
You might be getting confused with the NFL playoffs.
Oh yeah. You are. So 6 playoff teams. So I'm looking at
I might be going COVID year.
So I'm looking here with the Giants. So last year was the Braves, Phillies, the Marlins,
Diamondbacks,
the Brewers, the Diamondbacks, and the Dodgers. 6 playoff teams. So the Giants better than the Diamondbacks, Dodgers, the Cubs, who I think are going to be a lot better, Phillies, Braves, and then there's going to be a couple wild cards. The Marlins are going to have some say. I'm not sure about the Mets. The Reds may be better. The Brewers are always pesky. The Cardinals, you got to think they're going to bounce back at some point.
Don't know what to make of the Cardinals.
I don't know what to make. So bare minimum playoffs for the Giants. What about you, Ludwig? Real quick. Playoffs? Giants?
Oh, I absolutely think that 6 seed should. I agree with Shasky. The 6 seed should be the minimum. But we got to get to breaks. We can get on it later.